Right, so welcome to this week's episode of the LNL podcast. We are here on the 11th of February. I don't know why I like continuity. Should we hold up a newspaper? Don't ever do that again. Right. So, been an interesting week, I suppose, really, for all of us.
Yeah.
We have, of course, with Valentines Day around the corner, which also means one thing for us. The 50 Shades of Grey film, I say for us, we're not going to go see it. I feel we should say now. The 50 Shades of Grey film is coming out.
I feel like we should make some sort of 50 Shades, like, thumbnail.
Thumbnail, what? Well, we're going to trick people into watching this video. They're like, oh, 50 Shades, and they'll just find us.
Well, no, like, as in, I don't know, a picture of you, black and white, with handcuffs.
Is that your dream? Is that like your fantasy just to get me in that position? Dream. But
yeah, just lure people in.
Lure
like,
people in, trick them into views, like the little deceitful thumbnail. But I suppose really with the I don't think the first one on the video, with 50 Shades of Grey, it's about that the cinema this weekend is going to be like a disgusting place to go. It's not going to look good.
I think they're going to have to employ, like, special people to wander up and down wander up and down the stairs and make sure people don't, get on.
And that's going to be the... Because I was saying to people the other night, that basically all that's going to happen is that audience is going to be 50% middle-aged women.
Yeah, that's the other thing, isn't it? It's not just going to be young people. Like,
the
you're going to see, like,
the demographic...
older people, but
yeah,
still getting excited in the cinema.
The demographic thing it sold best on was like over 35s, like 35 to 50. I was like, that's just... I mean, well, we know, unfortunately, older people do have sex.
Yeah, and also, I mean, if you look at it, I know it's a different league, but you get all those awful erotic novels.
Oh, yeah, but the thing is,
those are bought by middle-aged women.
Have you actually read
any
of 50 Shades? I have read some of it.
Is it good?
It is fucking awful. It's like a 5-year-old wrote it. I mean, some of the terms he uses, like, I mean, it's like his tongue does like a salsa dance. It's like, what the
Still
fuck?
a better love story than Twilight.
I'm not sure it is. I think this is the one time that rule can't be applied. It's absolutely shit. I mean, it's just, because the only time, and first clarify now why I read it, I was waiting for a lift once in WH Smith with some friends back home, and basically someone dared me to read it out loud in a shop, so I did it, and I can tell you now.
Did you have to increase in volume with what you read? That would have been fun. No,
but when it got to like the dodgy parts, I did get a little bit louder. Because I was getting so turned on. But basically...
Shadow Man wears 3 or 4 condoms just to leave the house.
Basically, it's so badly written, even because Becky's read it, of course, as well. And she was saying about...
Flatmate.
Yeah. But the weird thing... I suppose but the weird thing about it is, she read her mum's copy, but her mum's copy came from her gran.
Oh no!
So it's gone through 3 generations.
That's wrong.
I know. Yeah, I was about to say, like, did you like have to like pry the book open? Just.
I know there was a girl in my year at school who once walked into her parents' room with her little sister and found a dildo on the bed.
Oh.
Funny.
Oh my god! It's just like I remember when the book came out. Like people were like reading it on the subway and stuff like that, and they're like in America, and they were like trying to cover it up with like another book cover, like inside, like that classic sort of like schoolboy trying not to look at pornography thing, and it just never worked.
It just reminds me. I was watching Boosh the other day, and it's the one where he's trying to spy on Gideon. He's got the whole.
Oh yeah, he's got like the eyes stuck in.
And later on with the sun.
Yeah, it's like really unsubtle attempts just to sort of try and get away with it. There was the weirdest thing of it was the 50 Shades of Grey album. It was like a piece of like classical music, like choices to put together. Well, wrote Eaton's book. I was like, who does that? Like, what middle-aged woman just walks in and goes, "Time for some 50 Shades." Turn on music.
It's gone absolutely viral. I don't really,
it's
become massive.
But
I don't understand why. I mean,
it's
if you want to read a good book, they're a good book. If you want to get turned on, there's porn. Why do you need something in the middle?
Because middle-aged women are lonely, apparently, it turns out. Basically, though, the one thing I learned...
dog. Not for that.
Yeah, no. We're not commemorating bestiality on the podcast. But the one thing I found, actually, I didn't know this. I found it actually started out as Twilight fan fiction to make it any worse. Apparently, the author was a massive fan of Twilight, and it was posted on... Like, the original concept was...
Who's the ELJ?
Yeah, ELJ.
You're a bad person.
Yeah, you are. Basically, it was used on Twilight, and basically, even Twilight fans. This shows how bad it is. Twilight fans went, "That's too much," and she had to take it down, and then that just got turned into 50 Shades of Grey. I mean, I've seen some Twilight fanfiction in my time. How far do you have to go to piss off those people?
You've seen some Twilight fanfiction.
I've seen memes of it and stuff like that. Seriously, you've never? It's fucking hilarious. It's like so bad. Again, it is like 50 Shades of Grey.
Speaking to someone who's watched, I've read the first book because I feel I was like 15. I feel like you can't say something shit until you've read it.
Oh, I can. I
read. I didn't read all of it, but I read some of the first book. It was shocking. And then I got made to watch the first film, and it was awful.
In fairness, the reason for you watching the first film, I can commemorate, I can agree with.
You've been told about that.
That was like one of the first things I learned about you. We will not say it on the podcast.
It's fairly obvious.
Yeah, if you can't get it from that, then...
Even so, it was dreadful and almost.
Wait, what happened during? Or?
No. It didn't happen during.
So I had a friend of mine. He will remain anonymous for the sake of this, but if he ever watches this, he will know who he is.
You know who you are.
Basically, he ruined the In-Betweeners movie for me. Because basically, he lost his virginity to the end credits of the In-Betweeners film. I was just... It gets better. If the story is deemed too much, we will obviously edit it out, but why not? But basically, upon finishing said performance in...
Who, the In-Betweeners or him?
Him. He basically came in the mouth. I couldn't phrase it any other way.
Finished. Finished.
It's fine. He basically finished in the mouth. There's some editing here probably somewhere. He finished in the mouth. And in order to get rid of the taste, there was a Pepsi bottle on the side. She drank from it. Later on that day, his friend came over and drank from the same bottle.
A friend also of yours?
Not massively a friend of mine.
Is it because of that?
No. Just I didn't know him that well. But he just told me, apparently he was like, my friend, he was just in hysterics like the entire time. It gets worse because his family were downstairs at the time. I love the idea. They would sort of like, maybe like walked, it was like, in fact he was with a girl.
Okay, that's fun.
Well, I know we're on the topic of rejection. We might as well go moderately in that direction.
Yeah, we sort of touched on this already. Things going on in cinemas. I've actually been in a cinema. No, I've been in a cinema where a friend was like deliberately sat a few rows in front, and that was really awkward because we were all just like, it was like a big group of us, but they were a couple, and they went off a couple of rows in front, and we were just sat there like, we were pretty much the only people in the cinema, and it was just kind of like,
I would have shouted to her, oh, stop wanking!
I know, we were loving sweets at them.
Childish.
And then someone went and told people in the cinema. That was funny. That was fun. Fun times. Messing around in the cinema. Who hasn't messed around in the cinema? Have you not ever been to a cinema where you didn't want to watch the film, you just wanted to piss about?
Yeah, but only with bad films that I was made to go see.
Yeah, we had to go and watch something with like, it was what's her name with the big fucking nose. It was called like, I don't know how she does it or something.
No idea what the fuck you're on about. No idea. But
anyway, yeah, we got dragged to watch that because the people we were with were like, oh, we won't get in that 15.
What? I think though, speak for the 15 thing again. That can always backfire because, of course, I'm not so much now, but I looked a lot older than I did than I actually was when I was younger. And me and my family went to go see Avatar with some friends of ours, and I wasn't 15 at the time. And of course, when you get to 15 or so, they start charging you adult prices 15, 16.
Yeah.
So of course, not to be charged for adult prices. My mum went out to pay for the ticket, and she was like, "Look, he's not 15. He may look older, but he's definitely not 15. I can show you ID to prove otherwise." They were like, "Yeah, sure, no problem." Oh, Avatar sold out. Every other film at that point was a 15 that was available. And we, of course, after making such like a big deal of the fact I wasn't 15, we were then like, oh, we've got to go home now. It was a completely wasted trip.
Hang on, you can go and see a 15 if you're with an adult.
Can you?
Yeah.
Did not know that.
Yeah, as long as you're accompanied by an adult.
I thought that's just 12 age.
No.
I thought the point of being 15 was like, you have to be 15 to watch this.
No.
Oh, well, I fucking missed out.
Because it's down to your parents' discretion.
In fairness...
Just be going through life like... Oh.
In fairness, though, that wasn't the worst time that happened. Do you remember when Bruce Almighty came out? like years and years. This makes sure this. I was about 6 at the time. It was around the same time Terminator 3 came out, and we went to go see what we thought was Bruce Almighty at our local cinema. And we sat. I didn't book the fucking tickets. I was 6. We sat down the cinema. All these trailers started coming up, and then like the visual was like Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines. And we were with my sister's friend at the time, who had seen the film because they were a few years older than me. And my parents came across and went, "Is it appropriate for him to?" And almost if we paid the money, should we just sit here and watch the film? And she was like, "Probably not." So we had to then get up and leave. Just and then like 5 minutes into, it's like we were pulled by the title credits. Like,
so you're not great at cinemas as a group. Like, oh my god, doing the cinema is not a good. It's not strong.
I'm gonna say cinema as a guy taking goal there. That's also not a good thing on my track record as well. Again, friends back home will probably know, so if they're ever listening to this, which I think they probably are. Basically, I took a girl I liked to see Hunger Games at the time, and first Hunger Games film when it came out. Yeah, I had seen the film a few days beforehand with my sister and a few of her friends because they had a spare ticket, and I asked if I wanted to tag along, so I did. And basically, I learned that there's a particular point. I know you've seen it. For those of you who haven't seen it, a bit of the jogs, like the weird dog mutant things, jump out.
Yep.
Bit of a scare jump.
Yep.
Now I'm crap at scare jumps. Like I'm not manly. But having seen the film 2 days beforehand, I knew it was coming up. And the joy of having size 13 feet in a cinema that's near enough empty is you can put your feet up. And I learnt a trick. If you ever go see a horror film with a girl, for all the wimps out there like me, put your feet up. Keep contact with your toe, so like you're looking at the screen. The event happens, and you're there like, it's nonchalant. I go, oh, it doesn't fucking bother me. She shat herself quite. She literally was like,
quite literally.
She was just sat there like that, just like because she was like suddenly just like jumped out of her seat, and I was sat there going, oh, like, no, oh, that's gay. She was like, oh god, put that. No, so I was like, just pulled that off. I then
what happened?
I then completely undid it in terms of I then went to go for a piss basically, and to put it mildly, and I went to stand up, but of course I had my feet up in the seat like that. So of course I then went to get my feet out, and as I was like mid standing up, one of my feet got caught like that in between the seats. So I was like mildly stood up. So I was then sort of like doing like a delicate balancing act. My seat then flipped up massively, cracked a loud bang. Like very few people that were in the cinema turned around, just saw me sort of like balancing like this. I then sort of like stumbled out of the position, stumbled up the aisle. I then trod on my shoelace, so my shoelace was then undone. So I was then trying not to trip up my own feet. So I was walking. I was just like, why do I bother?
Wow.
Yeah, I don't have good luck with this.
Don't go to the cinema.
Yeah, cinema. I'm learning now. Cinemas are not a good place for me, but I love films. But also, I suppose going back to the friend thing. Another thing I learned with 50 Shades of Grey. This was on the Lad Bible this week. B&Q have sent a memo out to all staff members to warn them about potential awkward conversations with customers coming in to request increased demand for things like rope and cable ties. Apparently, when the book came out, this happened. So they've gone. Films come out. It's going to happen again, and they've warned everyone about it.
It's just like, I mean, it just seems weird. You come out of the cinema, you're like, I'm inspired to B&Q.
I know. I don't hear like just go to fucking Ann Summers
or alright, most men own a tie. A tie. That works.
Hey, it has to be like quality tie. I mean, not a regular use tie.
No, you don't want one which you're going to use all the time, but it works.
It works.
What?
I mean,
B&Q. And also, now B&Q have done that and it's gone public.
In fact, and also as well, B&Q members have been advised to read the book ahead of time so they can appreciate where the customers are coming from and what bits they may want to reenact. So if you ever see, so basically what's happening
what it is like so that they can come in and go, you're a pervert. You're a pervert. You're a real pervert. Like, that bit was rough.
I did like you talk around the walk B&Q, just loads of people just reading 50 Shades of Grey. Like suddenly I was like, did I miss something here? Like, have I
just using it as like a shopping list. Basically. Aisle 7.
Yeah. Oh dear. Where can you find page 73? Oh, we got those at the back.
We don't sell that kind of thing.
Oh yeah, like can you imagine like some like genuinely like innocent person like having to go in and buy some like rope or something over the next few days. And all the B&Q stuff is going to be like, oh, you pervert. Like, no, children. Oh, yeah, sure, yeah.
And we again briefly mentioned Valentine's Day.
Yes, Valentine's this weekend.
Not a good day of the year.
Well,
really dislike it.
You see like so many like cheesy, horrible...
Yeah, it's the really tacky messages and like... Especially if like, you see like all these like 15, 16-year-old girls buying them for their boyfriends. You've been together for a week.
Oh, but yeah.
Sort it out.
Apparently there's like tons of like boys like buying Pandoras and stuff like that. Like 14-year-old boys buying Pandoras.
Together for like a month. You won't last another 3 weeks.
In fairness though, I have heard a fucking fantastic story. Basically, there was a guy who gave his girlfriend a present, a birthday present, but on his ex-girlfriend's birthday. So he'd got her birthday wrong, confused it with an ex-girlfriend. The thing is, the question I want to raise, why did he then go, oh, it was because of my ex-girlfriend's birthday today? Why would you not just say, sorry, I didn't mean to say birthday, I meant to say, I just saw this and thought of you?
Because he's obviously an idiot.
Yeah, clearly. What? I mean...
Oh, sorry, that's my ex's birthday. But I say ex, I mean, we're still sort of messing around.
Yeah, I love the idea, like, to the point where like, his brain's just going, shut up. Shut up. But like, again, stuff like that.
You had it all and you blew it.
It's stuff like really cheesy, like bad sort of things. But again, I've been quite lucky in terms of, I say quite lucky, maybe this is probably isn't good. I've never actually had like a girlfriend around Valentine's Day. The only points where I've had girlfriends has been like pretty much like around, I suppose, the winter like bit just beforehand.
You are lucky because it's impossible to avoid buying something which isn't tacky.
But
it's impossible.
But I do not have the best of luck with presents, as I said to you, because I broke up with my ex-girlfriend just before December, and it turns out she'd already bought my Christmas present.
Do you know what it was?
No, I have no idea.
I bet it was something really cool.
I should have got to her on Christmas Day.
I know we broke up. Sad, awkward. Can I have my present, please?
The thing's like, because the really weird thing about it, I suppose, in terms of we'd gone out a few.
But she hadn't bought your birthday present even those 2 days before.
Well, I think it was like a combined sort of like, because she sort of said I have to get you two Christmas. Like, no, you don't. Just like get me one.
No, don't get me one, but make it massive.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking in my head. But we really, I suppose, the thing that sort of tops it off in terms of that situation was the fact that we'd gone out a few months before to Brighton for a day, and she was saying about like when we first started going out, and she was saying how a friend of hers at work had said to her, "Oh, never buy your partner's Christmas presents until like 3 weeks beforehand, so you're committed." She fucking went and got it mid-November. I mean, not following your own advice. I mean, you're following your own advice.
You broke up with her in December.
No, not doing. I broke up with her before December. Oh, so mid-November.
Okay. Not that bad.
Yeah, no. So I had. So she.
How did you find out this information? Did she like?
No, basically.
Did she say to you, "I bought your Christmas present"?
No, basically. Again, it's the same fucking friend.
Apologies if you happen to be watching that.
I don't think
not an accurate impression.
She gave me death stares for the rest of it. She even fucking gave my car death stares. Like I'd be parked up and like I'd be walking back to my car at the end of college with my friends, and she'd be ahead of us, and she would just turn and look at the car and be like, "Fucking car!"
Spits on it, smashes the window.
Do you know why? I think she was just pissed off she wasn't going to get lifts. The entire time we were going out, she was saying, "Can you hurry up and pass your test so I can get a lift into college?"
Accusations of selfishness there, throwing the mud.
So actually, when I watch this, I fucking. But basically.
This is probably a lot funnier for Sam's friends.
It is. Anyway,
I
mean, you can appreciate anything that's going on. We had what was I going to say? What the fuck was I going to say? What was I starting on? Car, death stare,
lifts to college, hurry up and pass your tests.
Go back a bit more. I'm trying to go back.
Brighton, broke up with her starting November.
Broke up with that was it. You said what did you said to me? Could you wait, 1 second? I think I've gone too far back. I want to go forwards. That was it. The friend. How I found out about the present. That was it. Basically, I suppose this doesn't affect me in real life, but a friend of mine who was in her accounting class overheard her telling her friends that she bought her boyfriend his Christmas present already. So this was a week before I broke up with her.
And you received this information before you broke up with her?
No, after, quite a bit after. So I was kind of like, can I just go up and sort of say, you got me the present, I might as well just sort of...
I should have taken it back long since.
But it was really because that same friend is the reason why we initially were together in the first place, because she liked me like in the pretty early that year, pretty much asked me out, and I said, sorry, no. Then a month later, I suddenly thought, you know what? Like, sort of like typical idiot teenage boy. I was like, yeah.
Sam's friends. Beggars can't be choosers.
The day before I went out with Hannah, my friends who do watch these videos concocted a list of the people in our group who they thought most likely to get girlfriends. I was at the bottom. A day later, I had a girl. They were like, you fucked up the list. But that friend, basically...
You were just like, yeah, I wasn't trying before, and then that list just inspired me, and I was like, pow!
Oh, he was, And basically, the first day back in college, I went over, because we had mutual friends, and she was with. So I went up and spoke to her, like, say hello to certain friends. Because again, I don't like to be awkward. I sort of was like, you know what? I'm going to ask her out. And basically, my friend was talking to my friends about what we were doing over lunch, and they said, oh, he was talking to Hannah. She was in the class next to him, and overheard him saying, Sam's talking to Hannah, and thought that I was going to go looking for her to ask her out, which is what I was going to do at the end of college anyway. So by pure chance, she was waiting for me, thinking I was waiting for her, which I was. So, yeah, we broke up 2.5 months later. But yeah, that's really weird. I've made that like sound like such a sappy story, but it was more just talking about coincidence in terms of it's the friend who heard about the Christmas present. It's like he was stalking us the entire and set it up.
Yeah,
that's a story.
That's very sweet.
I'm not sure I'm not define it as sweet as so much like
Gareth Bale time.
Or Di Maria.
Gareth Bale.
But everyone hates him now, so I mean, it's more so much not that as so much like a broken one, sort of, I don't know, like that. Not quite fully. No. Right. Back from that weird sort of brief moment. Yeah.
Speaking of hating things, we've got
the Grammys. Basically, Kanye West showed his wonderful personality again.
You're a good guy.
Basically, Beck won album of the year, best album, and he went to and Kanye did his Kanye thing. He jumped up on stage, went to grab the mic, reminiscent like the Taylor Swift instance from years ago, and then basically stopped, smiled at the camera, and then fucked off back to his seat. In fact, the best thing about the event was Jay-Z's reaction to that. When he's sort of applauding Beck for winning the album, then he suddenly sees Kanye getting towards the microphone and his face actually freezes like, what the fuck is that idiot about to do? Then when he sits down, the calm that just comes over, he's like, thank fuck. But basically Kanye claimed that apparently the Grammys aren't respecting talent and artistry by letting people like Beck win an album. And apparently...
So essentially, if music is not approved by Kanye, it can't win things.
Yeah. Basically, if it was down to him and Beyonce would win every single award that was available.
And I'm glad we're clear on the rules now.
Best country song, best rock song, everything. Paramore won best rock song, though. Good song, ain't one. Not really a rock song, I'd call it, but...
But I mean, yeah.
It was a good...
The rules according to Kanye, yeah?
Yeah, pretty much is. Just...
So soon, yeah, if you listen to music that's not by Kanye or Beyonce, go to prison. I'm sorry, you go to prison. I mean, it's perfectly reasonable. If you can't see that that's reasonable, then you're just...
But the thing is, this man's on my art. He encouraged people to go buy his wife 50-page selfie book. That is... why?
Northwest. The man's an idiot.
Yes, well, we're all glad we know that, quite frankly. But on happier news for me this week, I suppose. And for comic book geeks and nerds everywhere like myself. Marvel have officially got the rights back. Well, I suppose officially, Marvel have permission with Sony to collaborate on making Spider-Man come into the Marvel cinema universe, which made me very, 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 very happy. As well as several people I know, because finally we can see Marvel make a Spider-Man film and not fucking Sony, because they've done shit with it, quite frankly. The first Spider-Man
gets hacked. by North Korea. Or maybe it was that lizard people.
Lizard
who we
Squad.
all hate.
Lizard Squad. The
fuck
fuckers
you,
who took
Lizard Squad.
fuck
you. You ruined Christmas.
Hey, I had a PS4 because I had to make I fucking felt.
Fuck you.
But basically, no, because I'm happy about this because the original Spider-Man trilogy, because I was only about like 7 to 11 at the time.
Yeah, I remember the game coming because I remember playing it,
I
not understanding anything.
I loved the game. The game got
around punches little kids in the face.
You played different games to me, basically.
No, that wasn't in the game.
That's what you were doing. But again, because the original trilogy, I liked growing up. Even when I was younger, I even liked Spider-Man 3. I've since gone back and watched it, and I've sort of gone, kind of see why no one's a big fan of it. Then we had the Amazing Spider-Man.
Dunst in them.
Yeah.
Just the only fact I know. Really.
Tobey Maguire and stuff. The thing is, like, and then we had like the Amazing Spider-Man reboot with Andrew Garfield and everyone. I got kind of annoyed when I saw the Andrew Garfield thing because, like, when it got revealed, I was like, it was almost like an American in-betweeners moment. It was like, you've picked a good-looking person to play an average role. You're not meant to do that. But in fairness...
Do you think the in-betweeners would have worked if Will had been good-looking?
No, because that's the point. Because that's the thing. Because the American in-betweeners, they made Will like a fey, like... My sister watched him and went, damn, that guy's quite looking. I was like, that's not meant to be the point.
Yeah, but we know this. American people get hold of good, funny British TV shows and ruin them. Have you ever seen Episodes?
Yes, I have.
Episodes is like that. That is actually what happens.
I remember go back to Spider-Man, because he had the Amazing Spider-Man reboot, and in fairness, I thought Andrew Garfield did alright as Spider-Man. He had the sort of like quick-witted, sort of like the sort of sarcastic, sort of sassy nature of Spider-Man, which is like in the comic book, which I thought was quite good. But then they had the Amazing Spider-Man 2, and it was like all built up to the Sinister Six, and the Amazing Spider-Man 2 was just a massive letdown. It just wasn't a fantastically great movie. It was sort of riddled with like weird. Like they introduced like the Green Goblin, like the main villain of the character, like just shooting him into the last 10 minutes for the sake of setting up another film. That's like, imagine, like, I know you're not. Have you ever seen the Batman? You're familiar with like Batman and stuff like that. I know you're not a comic book fan.
I don't really watch superhero movies.
Missed out.
So no. No. The only thing I ever watched is Kick-Ass, which isn't a really proper superhero movie.
No.
But I absolutely love that film.
It is a good. Well, the second one's not.
I haven't seen the second one because I heard it was awful.
Yeah, don't. But with the Spider-Man films, what's going to be interesting is the fact that they've said possibly he's going to be in the Marvel film next year, and Marvel have kind of moved around their film schedule, which they announced last year, in order to accommodate a solo Spider-Man film. But it still also mean they're going to find someone else to play it. They've now got to find a new actor to do the role. So it's going to be interesting who gets given that now, as opposed to last time Andrew Garfield.
I think we should pick someone. We should start a campaign and just put it in the end of all of our videos.
Going back,
pick someone.
You've just reminded me. Going back miles back to 50 Shades of Grey to the first topic. Basically, there was actually
I don't even know what the fuck that was.
No, neither do I. Basically, there was an online petition to get rid of the casting who they thought, because they were like, no, it should be this other guy. And the petition got 50,000 signatures. 50,000 people signed
50,000 shades of signatures.
No. I just didn't. No. Boo. No, it's not going to work. But anyway, I can't wait to see what the Marvel are going to do with it. Really happy now to see it back in decent hands.
Who do we think should... It should be someone funny.
What, getting Spider-Man role? Well, I have no idea. Give it Rupert Grint.
Rupert Grint.
Daniel Radcliffe.
I like Rupert Grint. Omid
I don't think he'd fit in a costume.
We'll go with Rupert Grint. Rupert Grint to play Spider-Man. Get it done.
What is it? Grint. Hashtag Rupert Grint to play Spider-Man 2015 2K15 campaign.
Let's get this going, guys.
There'll be a hashtag along the bottom of the screen.
Spider-Man does whatever a spider can.
Just not creating Wolf of Wall Street now, going. But anyway, moving on. Rooster Teeth back in the news again with Funhouse.
We actually discussed this last week, although we didn't post the podcast. This is sort of our third attempt.
Third attempt podcast, the one that hasn't gone up. So pretty much this will be the one that hopefully we will go up.
Welcome to our first podcast,
which is technically our third, which is technically the rest
we'll
of
probably edit this one at the start.
Yeah, but this bit will come on. The 3 podcasts we've recorded, including this one, will go up. We will find time to make them all go up because it's beautiful. Because if we get them up for the week, then we know it's up to date with current and what we're talking about. But with finance, I think it's quite interesting to see the way that Rooster Teeth are now they've kind of had to accept the fact that most of the YouTube community is in LA, and they can't bring it all down to Austin. So they've used Inside Gaming, the old crew, as
it's so weird not to call them that.
Funhouse.
Well, I suppose because we're still going to want to go back and watch all the videos they did with Machinima.
Yeah, there's still some great videos there, and but it's going to be interesting, because they've now got more resources and they've got more. They're not working so much out like the corner of a room anymore.
Hopefully, it should be. I know they now belong to a different affiliation, but hopefully they should be a bit more independent.
I think they are. I think that's the main aim of this. The fact that they are going to have more resources, because their podcast they put up, I watched it. It was saying they have more resources. They're going to have ability for collaboration with like Achievement Hunter and other Rooster Teeth members. Like Adam was on our route and he's on the podcast this week for Rooster Teeth. So it's definitely going to be a lot more licensed to do things. It is. It's all looking good. Rooster Teeth are slowly taking over the internet, which I have no problem. I have no problem. Just working their way.
It's impressive how they managed to carry on, because obviously you see things on YouTube getting so big that people don't want to watch them anymore. You look at like KSI, for example.
Yeah,
he sort of peaked, really.
Yeah.
People are looking at the success and the money that a lot of YouTubers have now got.
Yeah.
Particularly those that play FIFA or COD.
Yeah.
And they're sort of looking at it and going, "Look, you're too big now. I don't want to support."
Yeah, I feel like again it can, but I feel like if you can, because I think with Rooster Teeth they've maintained the level of content.
Well, that's what
they've maintained. They've maintained a level of good content, and like they haven't really faltered.
By having original ideas,
and also they've got great community support, because of course as we saw with they financed Laser Team over the summer of their film, and they were aiming to reach maybe $300,000, $500,000. They got $1 million in a day. And that was barely 13% of the community donated, and they still got $3.5 million or so dollars. It was incredible. They're the highest Indiegogo campaign ever. They've raised the most money. It's crowdfunding. It's fantastic. But so that's something to look forward to as well this year. The Laser Team film should be coming out from Rooster Teeth. I can't wait to see that. From everything I've heard and seen, it looks very good. They've also got people on it.
It's now on
Netflix. Yes,
Netflix.
Yeah. So that was a nice surprise to me. That was another way for me to delay doing any work this week.
And also nice way to commemorate.
Yeah, and they've obviously now it's been a week since they had to break the news about Monty, which was again it's very sad, but of course it's good to sort of sense that it hasn't majorly affected the company. They're still coming out and they're still sort of working. And again, based upon what we've seen and what they've said, it's what Monty would want in terms of still carrying on and not delaying the work process, which is always good to see. Thumbs up.
We've sort of run out of stuff to talk about.
No, we haven't. We'll go back to anecdotes now.
Anecdotes?
I suppose in terms of particular Valentine stories, bad relationship stories now, I feel like those are
bad relationship stories.
Oh no,
okay.
Well, the theme of the week.
Bad relationship stories.
That's going to be now the theme for the podcast. I think with the I think with a prime example for me, let's see.
What's the stupidest thing you've done that's led to a breakup?
With like the one serious girl I've had.
Like the stupidest thing, or the stupidest thing you've heard of that's led to a breakup.
Oh, that was someone claiming that he sent this text to a girl was complaining, was checking her boyfriend's phone, saw he'd been texting this girl a lot, and she was just like, "Who the hell is this girl?" And he was like, "It's my sister." She was like, "No, I don't believe you." Like she was like went mad, dumped him, broke up with him. He was texting his sister. Him and his sister just had to have a good relationship. They just kept they got on each other. They were texting each other. It wasn't anything like "I want you now" or anything like not incestuous in any way. But in terms of just having a conversation, and she saw that he'd been texting her a lot, and was just so like, "Who the hell is this girl?" And she hadn't met his family yet. So can you imagine? So like, "It's my sister." "No, I don't believe you." "Yeah, it's my sister."
Okay, that's fairly stupid.
That is.
I was drunk.
It's a great start to any story.
It's a great start to any story. I was drunk. I was not yet 18, but we were out. We were drinking in a park.
The
story just gets better.
It's the classic British way. You can't drink outside and get drunk at the park.
So we were drinking Strongbow.
Yeah.
It gets even better. And my girlfriend of the time, we'd been together about a month, and I rang her. And she was very much into horror movies.
Yeah.
But also got very scared by them.
Oh God! I really don't like where this is going.
I rang her and I said, "What's your favourite scary movie?"
Oh.
I withheld my number.
Oh my God!
For a joke, for a prank, and yeah, she got really upset, and yeah, we ended up breaking up the next day.
Oh my God! I'd love to do like that's like going. My girlfriend's allergic to bees. I'm going to dress up as a bee and cover myself in like honey. I'm going to take her through like a bee sanctuary. I don't know.
This is a joke.
That's a joke that is like shitting a person up. That's like,
it was funny. Everyone laughed.
That's like taking your vegetarian girlfriend to like a steakhouse and sort of say trying to try these like new corn steaks, and then showing her the cow that got killed in order to feed her. That's just fucked up.
It was funny.
Although speaking of drinking in fields, that is probably the worst hangover I've ever, well, the worst wake up I've ever had from drinking.
Don't get hangovers.
Fucking. I haven't actually. I haven't got them as bad as I used to recently. But the worst one I remember having. This was not last summer, the summer before. Actually, no, wait, it was last summer. Basically, we were in my friend's nan's field, which was about 20 minutes or so walk from where we were.
Do camping? Camping. I'll call it camping, something you do even when you're legally allowed to drink in a pub.
But basically, we had to carry like these bricks out to the site because he was like, if we're going to build a fire and like have barbecue and stuff like that, we need some bricks like to stack. I was like, all right. Carried out these bricks all the way. Didn't fucking use them in the end. We had to take turns carrying these things. It was fucking heavy. And basically, throughout the entire night, we were doing. I remember in the end we set fire to a Pringles tube because there was no wood or kindling in the field or anything we could use, which lasted about 2 seconds. And basically we ended up doing vodka shots and trying to spit vodka onto the fire to make it sort of go. And basically it was freezing cold. Even though we were drunk, we could still feel the cold, but not that much because when you're drunk, it's lovely. You feel nothing. You just feel warm. And
that's true, but when you stay up all night in the freezing cold, sobering up because you're in shorts and a t-shirt and no one's brought a tent. You do feel the cold then.
See, we had a tent, but a friend of mine had forgotten his hoodie. So we were all stood there like more like at the start of the night before we started drinking, before we got properly drunk, we were sort of there going, it's a bit chilly. My friend was like sat there like proper shaking. Just
yeah, that was me. Because, well, initially I wasn't supposed to be like staying there, and then I ended up staying there, but there wasn't any room in a tent, and then I managed to squeeze in the tent, and then we, like my friend went to pull, like, you know, you've got to plug like the poles at the bottom, and he accidentally pulled it, and the tent fell down. Oh yeah, and it was dark. We couldn't put it back up.
The thing is, our tent wasn't really well made, so it was a little bit loose. And basically, we woke up the next. One of the worst nights I've ever had. We went to bed, I think, at about 4 o'clock in the morning or so.
Yeah, that's the thing I always forget when I go alcohol camping. You're not going to sleep well.
We went. Basically, my friend got really confused because basically the tent had like 2 like compartments to it, so it had like 3 in one side, 3 in the other.
Yeah.
There was like in one of them it was me, one of my friends, and someone and the guy whose nan's field it was. He was a little bit ill, so he'd gone to bed about 2 hours later. Not in terms of like he felt sick, but like he was like a little bit like cold. He had like a little bit of a cold. So he was like coughing and spewing like the entire night. So the friend who was in between us fucked off into the other compartment like about like an hour or so later. And then I heard my friend was a real dick because basically what he did was he just sort of. So I was like on one side, he was on the other. He just actually moved closer and closer, and then got to the point where he like took up more. He just basically went diagonally across the compartment. So I was like pushed into like the corner while he had like spread himself out. I was just like, you fucker. But I was, and yeah, and I sort of like went to sleep. And my friend then got scared the fuck out of him. He went to bed, of course, just next to one other person. He then woke up with people all around him, and he was like, he was just like, what happened? Like he just woke up to like some sort of gay orgy. But again, that was not. We just woke up. It was freezing cold. The wind was like blowing underneath the tent. Like everything was like collapsing. It was a bit damp as well. It was. We had to then disassemble this tent, hung over, carry all these fucking bricks and the fucking tent back through this like land.
Awkward encounters when camping. Okay, so my friend brought a girl camping. They had their own little 2-man tent.
Obviously,
they disappeared off. You know, doing what loving couples do.
Let's boggle.
Play boggle. That's
not going to be euphemism amongst us. What are they doing? They're playing boggle.
We got a bit awkward sitting about 10 feet away while they were
as you do,
getting it on. So we disappeared off into town. Like we were fairly drunk. It was quite late, like 1 or 2 in the morning. We disappeared off into town. Walked past our local Sainsbury's. This was back when, it's probably because of this that they've started. They didn't put locks on the trolleys, which they now do, because people kept stealing them whilst drunk.
You started as a nationwide trend.
Here, we stole them while drunk. We brought torches with us, and we sat someone in this trolley, 2 torches as headlights, and pushed them a good 10-15 minutes back on the roads in this trolley.
Oh my God.
Stopping at red lights and everything. And I should explain, we were camping like 3 fields behind the leisure centre in our town. So we went through the leisure centre car park, got past the leisure centre, across first field, second field, third field, got all the way back to the camp. Still pushing him with the headlights on. And we stopped about... We stopped about 15 metres away. And said, turn the lights off. Sent 2 of them down there. Unzipped the tent. We ran and we pushed him in the trolley. The wheels hit the edge of the tent and he flipped in on top of them. They were still in that tent.
Were they still?
I think so.
Oh my God!
That was him losing his virginity.
I love the idea. Like, he's just all right building up confidence. Like, get into it. This guy slicing.
It was amazing. It was absolutely brilliant.
It's a great show.
A proper somersaulted in on top of him.
Oh my God.
He was not happy.
I would have been. I'd be like, what the fuck are you doing? Never sign up. Anyone watching this at all, if you ever get offered, never sign up to do a prospectus photo shoot, because those photos will come back to haunt you. Basically, towards the end of year 7, our school changed uniform. We had like a fleecer polo shirt, and we were going to like the full blazer and tie shit look. Yeah, and basically, I got asked to be in the photos. I got out of lessons for a day. I just had to walk around the school every now and again, pose for photos. And these photos appeared in the prospectus in year 8. They were a bit shit. Everyone found it funny. Blah 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 blah. Moved on. For about 2 years or so, I kind of forgot about them. Then it got to year 10, and I walked into school. I walked into lesson one morning, first lesson. I then came out, and I looked up, and on the wall, miraculously, over the space of an hour, all these photos had been put up from the old prospectus. Oh, there was one of me from year 7, like the first main big one.
And between year 7 and 10, you changed like so much.
No, but the thing is, I still looked shit, but I looked even shitter. Like
like you look like you're like fucking out.
No, but I had like really short, like V cut, like style hair.
No.
And it was like me. It was like a geography like one. So it was like me and my friend, like one of my friends at the time, who was like a year or so older, holding like a map or like a globe, and he was like, point at the globe and look intrigued. So at the time, I made a joke and I was like, look, Hastings, like that. And of course, it gets like, oh my God, I look fucking like idiotic. And I was just.
I managed to stay out.
I came out the lesson, looked at that. My friend was there and was like, that's you, isn't it? I was like, yeah. So I then went to the science lesson, which I had next, and stupidly told one of my friends, I was like, you will not believe what the fuck they've done. And he was like, he then shouted it, and all of my friends just went, knew. And so after the lesson, my entire table of my friends were like, we'll go and see this fucking photo. So they ran down to the corridor where this was, and I sort of followed them. And suddenly the phones come out, they're trying to get photos.
Facebook?
And I'm like jumping in front of the photos, trying to take it. At which point, like, this year 9 girl walks past and goes, it's him! Like, it's become some sort of celebrity. And it's just like...
Oh, she'd probably been going around to her friends like, I tell you what, there's this fucking stupid guy in a picture up on that wall.
I was just like, I don't want to be recognised. If I was ever like a celebrity moment in my life, I don't want that to be it. And the upshot is, basically, I then had to do the prospectus again at the end of year 10 when I became a senior student. They invited me again to spend a day out doing photos, and of course I couldn't turn down this time because I was a prefect. I had to do it, and so basically I was in more photos. These ones weren't as embarrassing. There was only one sort of moderately embarrassing one. But anyway, they then got to when they remade that prospectus, they kept some of the old photos in. They only kept my fucking old photos in. They are still up there on the website. My old photos are still on my school website. I can still find these.
We've got to do this.
They won't see them, but you
I'm going to put them in the edit.
Are you actually? Go on then. Bring my community college. It's there. There are some. And basically, one day I was working on my drama coursework, and my teacher called me over, and I was expecting she was going to give me feedback on my work. She went, "Have you seen this?" And point, "Oh, they might have changed it." No, again, just as you found out, they might have changed your handover assembly. Oh my god,
no.
Wait, where is it? Where would it be? Media galleries, image gallery. Come on. Oh no, I am there.
Yes.
Oh. I'm there. That's me there. playing basketball against a girl. Like, they were like, "You have to let her win." Oh, I've got to be more.
Oh, please.
Oh, there I am. That's you. That's me. That's you. Yes. Look,
that picture's going in the video. Just here somewhere.
I'm sexy and I know it.
Unfortunately, I'm not quite sure the 7 ones are still. Apparently, they're still up around the school, but I don't think they're on the website. Oh, one sec. Can I do a 360? Wait, can we do a 362 of the school? Oh my god. What the fuck's audio? There's no current audio category. Then why have you got it as a category?
Eco videos. Please say that's one of the ones you made.
Wait, is that one of the ones I made? For those of you who aren't aware, I had to make. Am I?
No, wait.
No, I don't think I don't think it's there.
Oh,
unfortunately,
so good.
Yeah. So. You will have just seen those photos. You will not have seen the S7, unfortunately. That is the worst one of the lot. But that is still not on the website. If you want to, just go to Real Community School. Just say you know me. They'll let you in, probably. And
we actually had drills in year 13 for in case someone came into our school.
Seriously?
Yeah, we had drills in case it, like, lockdown they were called. And essentially what it was like, you push a table up against the door and then everyone gets under their desks. I mean, he's got a shotgun. What fucking use is that?
Here's the idea. He's like, he walks in and goes, "Oh, no, he just fucks up, I can't do that."
Ah, no fun!
Yeah. He's like, "You're hiding." But I know they did, like, but yeah, and then the same thing happened to my Noah teacher. We spent our lunches, like, in our geography teacher room, because he was, like, the morally, like, only decent teacher there. And he was, like, the only teacher to let us be in his room, like, during lunch. And, like, he found the respectable and, like, "Come here," I went, "Sam, you look fucking ridiculous." I was just like, yeah, that happened. Oh, it was not.
I managed to stay out of pretty much all of these pictures, like the
oh my
perspective
god!
pictures.
I'm just looking back now.
We are just reminiscing now.
Yeah, we've reached that dewy point of the podcast.
Probably a natural stopping point.
Yeah, I think we've reached a natural stopping point. I think we've shared enough embarrassing stories in for one day. More to come. We've got to save up.
This has probably been our best podcast
so
far.
So this will be the one that definitely gets uploaded.
Yeah.
So if you're willing to sit through and watch the whole fucking hour-long thing. But anyway.
Valentines.
Yeah. So we will call the podcast to an end there. We will record another one next week, and we will see you again then.
Yep. See you later, guys.
Bye.
The day that your brother started to talk was the day that I found you like that. The national child star in a coat and a scarf. I'm sexy and I know it.